What's good, YouTube? It's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another remake video. Today we'll be remaking Casper by Takeoff, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go ahead and change our tempo to 140 beats per minute. And we're going to start off with that main piano sound, or the electric piano sound. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. It's an 8-bar pattern. And we're going to bring in Logic's electric piano, if I can find it here. Here it is right here. And for the preset, we're going to go ahead and bring in the tremolo electric. All right, and let's go ahead and put in the pattern. We'll go to start at a low octave here. Just going to duplicate that over for the entire 8 bars. So right over here, we get a switch up happening. So let's go ahead and just zoom in over here. So we're going to take this, make this smaller. I'm going to copy all 4 notes, and then we're going to just pitch it up here. Just adjust this here. All right, so we get something like that. Here's how the pattern sounds. I'm going to go ahead and open up the electric piano to see if we need to change anything. I'm going to pull back the bass a little bit. Maybe make it a little louder. All right, next let's go and open up an EQ. And I'm just going to take out some of the lows, so it's not so bassy and rumbly. I'm also going to take a little bit of the highs as well. Get rid of that click. Let me just push this back. Make this a little bit tighter. All right, so that right there is our electric piano. Next, let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. All right, actually, let's go ahead and arrange as we go here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this over for the next pattern. And a second layer comes in on top of this piano. I'm just going to take out this part, just duplicate those chords. And on this right over here, we're going to go ahead and bring in Logic's sculpture. And we're going to bring in a preset here, found under keys. And we're going to bring in the preset called Bright Keys. And we're going to go ahead and just copy down this pattern over here. But what we're going to do over here is we're going to pitch this up a couple octaves. All right, just like that. Let's duplicate that over, make this a lot lower. Add a sort of that like metallic sound to it. I'm not going to adjust anything in the sound itself for the preset. What I am going to do is bring up an EQ, and I'm going to cut out a lot of the low end. Actually, there's not much low end to cut out here. Well, let's cut out some of the top end. Just want a little bit of that metallic sound in there, just to layer it up a bit. Just like that. All right, next let's go and create a new software instrument track. And I'm going to bring in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument. And for this one, let's go ahead and bring in the Casper drum kit. And we're going to start off with our hi-hats. So it's going to sound something like this. I'm going to change over to my brush tool. I'm going to change this to 16th notes. And I'm going to draw in my hi-hats. Oh, maybe we'll do 8 notes actually. Switch that over to 8ths. And here's our hi-hat. Just going to go ahead and lower that in the background. Nice and quiet. Next, let's go and duplicate that track. And let's go ahead and draw on our claps. So we're going to put this on the 3s. Duplicate that over. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate that track. All right, so for this one, we're going to go ahead and draw in our 808s. So let's go ahead and change this over to mono. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Change this back over to our pencil tool. Focus on the last 4 bars here. We got like 2 hits here. And 1 over there as well. All right, so that's our 808 pattern. All right, now we're going to go ahead and duplicate this track over here. And we are going to draw in our kick pattern. And it goes something like this. I'm going to start on the 1. So it's pretty much going to layer up the 808 with a couple extra hits. So make this lower so it's not so in your face. I'm just going to pretty much duplicate that. Double tap there. And we're going to round it up like that. All right, so that's pretty much for that right there. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this over. And we're going to delete this hi-hat pattern. Let's duplicate it for visual purposes. And we're going to create a new hi-hat pattern over here. Actually, I could just take this pattern and let's switch it up right now. You kind of get that like that fast part. The Southside style 808 Mafia. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's start up this right here. So at this part right over here, the second beat, we're gonna change over to our brush tool and we're gonna put in a really fast triplet. Let's do 1/64th triplets. And we're gonna draw it in like this. Something like that. And then we're gonna do that the same thing right over here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. Over here, we're going to get a double tap. So we're going to go change this over to a, I think it's a 30-second triplet. Ooh. Let's see how a 16 triplet sounds like. Let's leave it like that. Over here, we're going to go ahead and bring back a 30-second triplet. Or maybe 30-second notes. Let's see how that sounds. That's a little too slow, I can already see. Let's do 64th triplet. I think that's a little bit too fast. Go ahead and delete that out. And let's put in a 30-second triplet here. Over here, we're going to get a 64 triplet once again. All right, where are we here? Just zoom in on here. Make sure that I have them all laid out. We essentially get this same pattern from the beginning. Let's copy that over. All right, so we're gonna do here, we're gonna copy over this first pattern. I know it's getting a little bit confusing, but we're almost there. Except at the end over here, we just get a simple straight 8th hit repeat. And at the end, we're going to go back to our 30-second note, and we're just going to draw in some hits over here. Actually, no, we're going to do 64th notes. And we'll do triplets again. Something like that. Something really fast. That sounds like that. That's good. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this track, and we're going to draw in our snares. There's 2 snares that come into play. First, let's go ahead with the first main one. So we're going to draw this on the 3s. That's there it is right there. Let's change this over to a pencil tool so I know I'm hitting the actual beat that I want. Let's duplicate that over. The hi-hats come a little bit louder in volume. Make this a little bit louder as well. I'm gonna go ride the wave. Hey, I'm gonna go ride the wave. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this track, and we're gonna draw in our secondary snare hits. All right, so we get one there. Let's go and duplicate that over. All right, so that sounds good like that. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this over. And we're going to get over to our bass sound. So we're going to create a new software instrument track. But we're going to take out our 808s, which I believe is this. We're going to take it out. And we're going to draw in this Reese bass, or like a Drake Moog bass. I'm going to bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we are going to bring in a preset that I have here, the Drake Moog bass. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Alright, so we're going to go down to a nice low octave. And we are going to start right over here. We're going to go up. Next, let's go ahead and just duplicate this over. Alright, so that's our pattern right there. Let's open up ES2. Just going to pull down the resonance a little bit. Alright, so that sounds good like that. I'm just going to open up an EQ and just take out some of the top end. And I'm going to take out a little bit of the low end as well. A little bit of that rumble out. Just to give us a nice low end there. Alright, and then we're just going to take this and we're going to duplicate it over. And then we're going to put this back over here. And we get something like this. Back to these hi-hats as well. We're going to bring back our 808s. And then this just repeats itself. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and add in one more sound and instrument. And that is like that flute sound that happens at different parts in the track, starting off with the first 8 bars. So let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go over to our browser tool. We are going to go to World. We are going to go to Woodwinds. And we're going to go to Peruvian panpipes. It's the closest sound I could find in Logic here to the one in the track. It's actually might be the same instrument that was used in the original track, but maybe not this exact one. So let's go ahead and open that up. We're just going to go ahead and focus in on the last 3 bars. Oh, let's close that up here. Zoom on in. There we go. Having a little difficulty there. Let's just go from the 4th bar so we have it. So right over here we get something. Just gonna add in a little note here, but it's gonna be off that one. All right, so it sounds like that, but I'm gonna shorten this one a little bit. Don't want it to ring out so long. This one as well, and this one as well. And this one I'll drag out a little bit. And then there's like a note here at the end. It's like this. Oh, maybe not that high. Right there. But when we do on this one, I'm going to make it more quiet. So I'm just going to bring down the velocity. And what we're going to do here is we're going to open up some reverb. And we're just going to use the default settings that load in, just to give it more space. Lower the wet value. I'm also going to lower the dry a little bit to push it a little bit more back. Maybe I'll add in a little bit of delay as well. Bring that in. And I'll put the delay before the reverb. All right, so that's good like that. So there are different couple patterns in which this Peruvian panpipe comes in, and we're going to jump over to the next one over here. Actually, no, I think it's over here in this pattern. Let's go ahead and copy this over. Let's go and open this up. And for this one, once again, we're going to focus in on the last 4 bars. But the pattern changes up. We're going to go, we're going to push this up. Let's just see here how it goes. So we're going to take this one out. And this one's going to be pushed off of the top one. Make this a little shorter maybe. I think this has to get pushed back one. I got it right there. And then we get something happening here at the end in the last 4 bars. So we get something like this. Once again, we get overlapping notes. Stretch that one out a little bit. Stretch this one out a little bit as well. Let's copy this over. Except this one is going to be on the 1 and this one will be pushed over a bit. Just going to stretch this out a little bit. All right, so there's the pattern right there. right, once again, we get another pattern over here. So let's go ahead and draw that in. Once again, it happens at the end, but it's a little bit more simpler than the other ones. So let's go ahead and draw that in here. They're like really short at the end here. I don't think they lasted longer. A little like that. All right, and then we're going to jump over to this part here where another different melody comes into play. So in this third beat right over here, bar, we get something like this. What octave were we in? We're in the 4th octave. Then we get something that's on top here. Drag that out. All right, something like that. And then in the 4th bar, and this one gets, duplicate that. It gets pushed over a little bit, and then this gets stretched out, I believe. Let me get this in there. Quick hit. And then what we're going to do here, we're just going to go ahead and copy this over. Right there. All right. And then what happens right over here, this just duplicates itself. And that's pretty much the track itself. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the remake we just put together, Casper by Takeoff. Let's go. right, that right there is Casper by Takeoff. For you Logic users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys. Place that as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to go and export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that we used in this tutorial. You can find that entire playback in the description box below this video. If you do have any questions on this or just want to chat, let's go ahead and talk in the comment section below. And as usual, if you did like this video, remember thumbs up and share it. And as usual, if you are new to I'm a Music Mogul and you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button so you get notified right away of every upload. That's it for me, guys. Hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the next one. Later. Peace.